Hey, hi everyone. So today it's a ninth session and we are going to discuss about the client script. So what we are going to cover in this topic, let me show you. Yeah. So about what is client script, how what things where we can apply and how we can utilize those capabilities, types of client script, and then demo session and exercise scenarios, whatever we will I will going to provide. Yes, so let's begin with the some of the introduction on that side. So I'll just search it out. This client script allow the system to run JavaScript on the client web browser side, correct? So by name itself, you can understood it's related to UI label. So whatever the things would be on UI, so it will apply on that when client-based event occurs, such as when form loads after form submission or field changes. Use client script to configure forms and all, correct? So these are the some basic idea about it, correct? So let me, I'm just upgrading my instance to Vancouver. It's a latest upgrade. So it's upgrading my instance. So till the time we can work on it. Okay, so what about the client script first of all, correct? So the client script is utilized into the on the UI level. Again, the UI is user interface. So where we can utilize the UI label changes. Let's say some, if you recall it on the UI policy. So in UI policy, it's similar to UI policy, but in different ways. Correct? In different ways, what does mean? In different ways means when the things will be complex, correct? Which cannot be achieved by the UI policy, or we have to create like 100 times the UI policy. It should not be good at all, correct? So under that condition, if the complexity is high on the UI and condition would be high, then definitely we will go for the client script, correct? So here are the some of the example you can see: make field hidden or visible, make field read only on writable, make field optional or mandatory on user role based, set the value one field based on the value in other fields, modify the options in HUI. So these are the primary things. Usually you are going to utilize in the such term, correct? So where let's say one there would be some requirement from the your stakeholders and your uh, what we can say your business side, correct? So his the requirement would be like this way: hey, I want this the value when the state field, let's say I'll take out this some. Okay, let me open that record. Perfect. Come on. Okay. So let's say whenever the channel will be channel Goro would be walk in. So only that subcategory would be something, whatever the keyboard, monitor, mouse, or whenever the walk-in would be there. So state would be something else, correct? In progress. So that is the way you can utilize it. So what you trying to build it, the complexity would be might be it will be says like this way: when the channel would be walk-in, subcategory would be CPU, and service what we can say service is something SAP enterprises. Then the state would be this, or it will assign to the this group, correct? So it would be a different the way of utilization. So whenever they will say, so you have to think of it whether we can achieve by the UI policy, whether it's really complex to write down the script, correct? So UI policy, you know that it's a pretty much straightforward. There is a condition builder, and then after some run script is there, so you can utilize those capabilities. But you have to think of it, correct? So where I can utilize it, we where we cannot utilize it, correct? So might be it will ask some server side action items, correct? So let's say like no, when the record is created into the problem table and it says that this like no primary issue, correct? So it will create one another incident by saying that problem is awaiting, correct? And these field will be shown, correct? So then what you will do, whether you have to write down the some script happening, and on that basis, whatever the response, or there is a combination of lots of multiple tables, multiple script, multiple table, multiple fields would be there. On that basis, you have to decide the action item, correct? So action in terms of hide the field, make the mandatory, set the value, and blah blah blah, correct? So this would be the one of the part you have to think of it, where I can utilize these capabilities, where it would be I will go for such kind of changes, correct? So think of it before applying the client script and all. So these are the like the some of the I'll take you on the form, so we will talk about it. So here the, let's say, if we will type it client script, correct? Under system definition, this would be the client script, correct? Another part, you remember the on UI policy class I mentioned, if I want to see how many client script applied on the this like this means the incident table, or you can say incident form right now. So I will click the right click over there, configure, and then we will go here. You can see table, security, business with client script, correct? Here you can see the UI policy. Now I'll click on the client script. So whatever the client script applied over there, sorry, whatever the client script applied on the incident table, you can see that filter, you can read it out. The table equal to incident, or incident in incident task something, it's shown over there. I'll show you that too. You can see is one of the days, then it will be applied. I means those client script will appear here, correct? Any questions so far? No.
No.
Okay. Thank you. So I'll click on it. So let's say here the desktop. Now this is the client script form, correct? So inherited means it can be applied on the the child tables also. Okay, so that would be the one of the part. Another, the UI type. So on which UI type it would be applied? Mobile, service portal, desktop. You can whatsoever you can apply. If you will choose only desktop, then it will apply on the browser. If this your instance is open into the browser, only that time it will applied into the uh, the client script will be applied. Okay. Otherwise, other than that, if you open in this and that, then it would. Okay. Now the type, how many types? It's, if you see here, on cell edit, on change, on load, on submit. Correct. Now on cell edit, whatever the fields, yeah, this one is the one of the example, or any list, these call as a cells, correct? So whatever this one area is called cells. So whatever you applied on the cell edit, let's say this is cell edit, and which field, correct? Active, due, or whatsoever. So let's say number would be this, then it will apply, save and close. So whatever the parameters is there, correct? So this parameter, this parameter, this parameter, this parameter, and this parameter, correct? So whenever you are going to apply this, so on that basis, sys id, you need to pass this sys id of this, correct? You can see here the sys id of that particular uh, table. So on that basis, it will search it out, correct? So G underscore form, this ID is this, and then it will apply, correct? So this will apply on the this label, only the list label, and whatever the cells you are which cells area of you're selecting the this field of this cells will be whatever the action you will decide, it will apply, correct? Any cell edit is there? No. Let me check. Here, just open it. Something I can show you. But that would be fine. So if we can open it. So you can see save and close true. New is not equal to complete, correct? So the the field would be not closed. You can say in terms of, so it's checking out the value. New value means what you are applying over there, correct? In cell edit, what you are trying to do, the callback function save and close, so it will call, means it's true. Then else, if it's true, or if it's not true, in other way, if and else is applying, correct, the conditions. So if else while, these are the loop, not loop, these are the condition checking the format. So where you will check it out, then it will go for the action items, correct? So callback, you can see here the callback is call over there. New value is there, correct? New value means whatever the new value you will going to enter. So if the new value should not be complete, means the state field should not be complete, then only it will go for this action item. Okay. Now it will check this check for hierarchy. So it will check the hierarchy sys id. So you can see here the parameter sys id and callback, then callback save and close, correct? Now check it out here. This is the way it's calling the function over there directly. You're getting so if you didn't aware about it, so you're defining the whenever you have to define the function, correct? So you have to type this the whole word function, then it will treat as a function. This whole part this name will be treated as a function, and then this parameter you have passed, whatever the parameter is there, correct? So now you're passing the parameter. So after getting the parameter, so here sys id and this, correct? So now after getting the parameter, see here, correct? So if this and this, this parameter will be passed over there, then what will happen? Where open children, where means variable. We are defining the variable. I can put it any name over here, XYZ, anything. But in a standard way, you have to something uh, makes sense for that variable, correct? So we cannot type down the xyz. So if everywhere we imagine no, if we have to write the 100 scripts over there, so we cannot do anything at all, correct? So we, by seeing that script, we can understand it's a open as children, so something related to the child related, something some on that particular script, something children related, or the child related action item is there. So that thought process would be generated by other guys, correct? So someone else is working on this, then it will be make sense for them, correct? This is the best practices I'm talking about. It's a camel way that you have to define the uh, the variable name. So you can see open, then C is capital. This will be the that sense, if you write down the other name, other things you need to add, so it again the capital name, correct? So the camel way, camel writing would be there. So always remember that. Okay. So this is the add query. Okay, This is the add query in new glide record. This. I'm just taking the example of out of box script. Just imagine, like, that's why I'm telling you. So this is the add query. Add query means like I'll tell you in add query is kind of filtering the data, filtering the you're putting the filter. Let's say here, correct? It's a kind of we are putting the filters. Let's say we are saying that it's this and updated by is anything I put it the value and it would be show that value. If it's not like it doesn't match the value, then it will not show, correct? So these what we are doing, we are putting the filters, but in a scripted way. How we will put the filter? For before, like I'm going back to one step before, the glide record is used into the only into this server side, but into the cell edit, it's like it will be callable. That's what like it's applied, like it's taken out. So here what it's doing, it's applying the add query. Add query is kind of we are putting the filter. Just think of it. What is saying? This field, if contains this sys it's dynamically it's like taking out the parameter. You can see here it's showing the parameter is this. Then again it's putting the filter. You can see I put the two filters, 1 and 2, and third is already there, correct? So here it's putting the 1, 2, and 3. Then optional query means we are hitting the run button, correct? After putting this filter, we hit the run button. How to hit the run button? In a scripted way, we will go for the, this is last one, open children dot query. So what it creates such kind of a scripted way. This filter will be created into the scripted way here. And again, it's checking. This means is not equal to, means what it's saying, open children do not have the next value. Next in terms of all the value, like if the next value is there, after putting this filter, if there is value, then it will return the true. Is it clear? A little bit like
Yes, yes.
yeah, little bit messy, but just try to understand slowly how much you will do the practice on it. It will be very easy to understand, correct? Okay, I'll take it out some examples also so that it will be easy to get into it. It's a type of on load, on check, on submit. On load. Okay, let me check it. I'm just checking out the example so it will be easy to understand. This is a which one? Onload kind. Okay, it's a onload. Mm, yeah. Let me check. So these are the some examples. Clear options. So these are the some action items. If we will do like this way, then it will be happen. Correct. So G underscore form. It's a out of box object. Objects is like when we are calling anything. Let me close this. It will not make any confusion for you guys. Okay. Okay. Let me close this. Find script again. I'm just opening again. There is another catalog client script. We will talk into the when we will cover into the catalog items. Okay. So here, okay, so we have a this incident. Where is the incident? Let me open that too. Okay. so it will be easy to understand. Okay. Okay, I'll open this. So there is one thing that's relatedly, it's a client script, correct? Work notes mandatory, make mandatory, simple priority, set color mandatory, and everything over there. So this is onload, correct? We talk about the on cell edit, which we have saw like on before this, correct? What is on cell like on change, on load, on submit. Right now we are going to cover it the onload, correct? So onload by itself, you can understand onload when the form is getting loaded, correct? Loaded in terms of we are refreshing, it's loading the form, correct? Let's say I'm creating this, it's loading the form. Then this script will applicable, or it will automatically apply whatever the script you have written, then it will work. Otherwise, it won't. Again, I'm repeating it. Onload will apply on the loading of the form. Whenever that form is loaded, or it's going to load it, then it will apply. Otherwise, even if you are thinking of it, it will go like do this and that, it wouldn't. Is it clear? So here something is written. So these are the you have to slowly you come to know where I can utilize this, where I can utilize that object, and it's a totally different concept, correct? So you have to do the practice. It's not I'll tell you everything and you come to know. You have to do the practice with the different scenarios, how to utilize it, what need to be done. If this scenario is there, then how we will get those things. So G underscore scratch pad is utilizing on the base on the when we need to communicate, correct? I already mentioned that here we cannot write the server side scripting. Server side scripting means server level in terms of backend, how the things are backend happen. You cannot write into this script. Only you can write down the front end. Front end means what you can see on the from your eye, correct? So if database is created, so you cannot see only the record when created, then only you can see the record, correct? That record number, but how what action item behind the scene is going on, we cannot see, correct? So that is the difference. So when I'm saying when I'll take the name server side, you can imagine it's a backend thing, or in database label where database get saved, and then after any action happen, then it those call as a server side. Now the client side, only what you can see in front of you, then you can do so. Means whatever you can see, only those things would be whenever you're writing the script, then it will be applicable, correct? So here the G underscore is scratch pad. So G underscore scratch pad is a predefined object from the service now, where let's say I hided this field, correct? But still the value is this, correct? Let's say any UI policy I have written, no. Uh, okay. I'll just give you the idea, then we will go for demo and everything. Step by step. First I'll tell you everything, so you will get the idea, then we will go for the other thing. Okay, so here this is the G underscore scratchpad when we will talk about it. So it will work on the uh we are taking out the server side data to the into the client side, correct? So we what here it's doing like a yeah, this one is browser support, like no, it's called that this, and then it will call that like no particular field actions and whatever the value would be there, correct? So it's calling via that. So it will be defined like the same way it will be defined into the server side, somewhere into the business rule. Server side is business rule. Also, it will be called into the script include. So those things are there. So you have to recall it every time where we can utilize those capabilities, correct? So here, like no G underscore scratchpad, the same thing will be somewhere it will be written, correct? Somewhere in terms of its server side, correct? G underscore scratchpad. Always remember whenever it shows that. So do not like no find out into the client script. Just you saw that into this, then you have to understand somewhere it will be written uh, into the server side. So how I will search it out? Let's try it, correct? So here I can try it into this. I'm searching into the business rules. Correct? It's a server-side scripting. Contains this. Let's see. You can see here. See, we will talk about the business rule, how it's doing, but just I'm giving the idea how it's like no communicating between the server side to the client side. Correct? So what I mentioned initially, we cannot write the server side scripting into the client side. Now, how it's communicated via this object g underscore scratchpad. Correct? By using this, it's a like no, it's communicating with that. Correct? So it's a kind of this what you can write down even this like anything g underscore scratchpad dot anything Gaurav equal to true. Correct? Automatically whatever you are seeing here, I can like call over the directly into the my client side here, same way. Correct? So same action item, same thing happened. So here this is not any field, just it's defined it. Correct? So it's given some a name like no your name, something like your first name and then last name. Correct? Your surname would be there. So it doesn't mean like no what you are, but the name should be like this way. Correct? So it's given some name. It doesn't existed into the system, just given the name. If this will whenever this will call, then value should be this. Automatically this value will be assigned to this. Correct? When we are saying the equal to, it's mean that value is it's assigned, like this value is assigned to this particular like you can say the object or variable. It's treated as a variable, so it will imagine like it's a this value assigned to this variable. Correct? Any question so far?
No.
Okay, thank you. So now you got the point, correct? So how it's the g underscore scratchpad call over there, correct? So if whenever if means we are checking out the value like the condition. What if? I'll tell you how. This mean or. If we are putting like this way, double like no pipeline, so it will be called as or in over here in condition, correct? And when we put the this double and, so it will treat as a and. Remember here this is and this is or. Same way in scripting, it's different way we have to write down like such a way, because it says scripting, it's we cannot write a and d and, correct? We cannot write anything into natural language, correct? So it's just some way of understanding of the like the system. So this is the way. Again, g underscore form. So imagine like no what it's saying, it's out of box. So when you calling this, you can say The object used client side script to customize the form, correct? Now, whenever we are calling this, all the capabilities on the form, this all the capabilities on the form, it will call over there. Even if we will write, I'll show you g underscore form dot what action item you want to take, correct? It's what is saying, hide related list. So if you don't know, you just check it out into the Google it, how what does mean, correct? Or you can search it out into the product documentation. You can search it out into the this side, correct? So you can search it out into the reference qualifier. Sorry, reference qualifier. You can search it out into the reference. So whatever the reference is given, correct? You can see here. Let's see, like no, we can search it out. Should we will get it or not, correct? So let's see. It doesn't appear. If we will check it out, see, something is given. G underscore form, under that something is given, correct? So we will see. Hide related list. Okay. Now you can see some very niche examples are here, correct? So you easily you can understand. It's saying that what the like the capabilities or the methods are defined and how you will going to utilize it, correct? So it's given the output as well. So here the function, field name, or original value, and all things are there. So how we will utilize it, correct? It's the utilization. If we will write down this way, then this will happen. Before that, you can update the a list collector variable, correct? So try to getting into the service now side. So then you will come to know like how we can utilize these capabilities in which term, correct? So remove decoration, correct? So again, there is a some functions are defined, correct? So it's a predefined object, g underscore form on the form. Just read out in simple word. In a form, like on the form, remove the decoration. So some decoration would be there, correct? What parameter need to be passed? Caller ID, icon underscore hyphen star, this. So if there would be some kind of action item would be there on the form, it should be removed in terms of, like in simple words. Again, function, argument. Argument means we are passing the some value, correct? We can write down ref, trmg, axyz, anything we can write down, correct? So what it's creating the dynamic way. So it's called some function, correct? So function will be passed that value, and that value should be give that rest of the action items, correct? Is it clear? Little bit I know that it's a first time if you are getting into this such kind of scripting, definitely it will be going to be some toughness, but slowly when you're going to utilize it, it's really like no easy. You can see on chain control, old value, new value, is loading, is template. So control is like no kind of um if you read it out the JavaScript. So it's taking out the HTML, like no the HTML access. So I'll show you. Uh, in more tool. So, yeah, it would should be there. Developers. Okay. So I'll show you this. Correct. So this like no, if we are applying on this, like no, in service now it's a different way. In JavaScript it would be different way, correct? So we can directly call that like no the field like no the what we call it's a field we can call directly over there with the HTML or like no the linkage would be there. So let's say I'll just show you this. So here the like no the data HTML was data original would be this. So that okay. I just missed it out. like this, correct? Data original title. So title would be it's showing like this way, correct? So we can control it, correct? So we can why data HTML false and like blah 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 everything. So we can control it via JavaScript, correct? So but in service now we have to utilize the control. Here is that example. Control is there, correct? So via control we can utilize those capabilities to whatever the control it's a new value is not equal to this, same way we can mention the control dot something whatever the value would be there, so we can control that appearance or whatsoever, we want to change it out something, their name, value, whatsoever, so we can control make the changes via using this predefined the argument, the value would be it's a predefined action items are there, so we can call over there and it will be applicable, correct? So old value by name itself it's defined. If we making any changes, correct? So on the form label, yeah, if we are making any changes, let's say right now it's a software, I saved it. Oh, I saved it and again I'm changing it. So what will be the old value? Should be software. So how I will call into this script via the old value. New value, whatever we have made the changes to this, correct? So it will become the new value. Is loading again. If you recall it into the UI as well as onload, now in on change also there is a capability of is loading. When the form is loading, then it will be applicable, correct? So whatsoever the action item, so you can do so, correct? So here you can see initially what it's saying, it's exclamatory, what it's saying is exclamatory means not is loading. If not is loading means the form when it not load, then this the area of code will be applicable. So you can see if you open the braces, then you have to close the braces. If you open the braces, then you have to close the braces. If you can see when how many braces you will open, that much of braces you have to close. Now how a service the script will read, correct? So always remember the script will always in service now read by line, correct? One line it will check, again second line it will check, third line it will check. That's why we have written the if, then whole piece of block will be skipped, correct? So what it's saying is not no, sorry, is not loading means that this block first it will check this if condition. If it's it's fulfilled, then it will execute this whole piece of code. Otherwise it will whole piece of code would be skipped and it pass out. Is it clear, guys? This is a on chain, correct? If you recall it, here the on chain, here you can see some of the things are there, correct? So is loading or new value equal to null means there would be no value, correct? So it's assigning the null value, you can say, or it should be in terms of other words, three times would be it should be this, correct? So then it will be if the g underscore form is new record, correct? So it's again some of the methods are there, correct? So again you will check it out by name, like by reading out this you can understand g and g underscore form is new record means whenever it's a new record the form will be new record. How it will be